Now, in the Best Buy Plaza, I've caught it on tape occurring in Ralph's Grocery Store, the Island Restaurant, Joe's, Trader Joe's, Starbucks, Ross, and Best Buy, and the AMC Theater. Now, it's just a matter of time before they start staging events at these plazas to ban me. Oh, absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. So that's why I brought to your attention that MTS Gangstalk, oh my God, suck my DSCQ playlist. Because who's ever managing the crimes that I am enduring is managing, okay, all the other crimes that I'm enduring, because the harassment's identical. Do you honestly think that different people are waking up one day and saying, let's manage the gang stalking of Leslie, whom we don't even know and whom I don't even know them, and then saying, like, say if one person decided to, who had some community connections, decided to, okay, we want to harass Leslie, so let's use our community connections to get this place and that place to say gang stalk and suck dick and oh my God around her. Okay? And then they then magically decide to stop. And then a week or 2 weeks later or a year later, a different group decides to do the same thing who don't know the first group. Do you see what I'm saying? It's one collective thought managing the entire thing. And whoever is managing the entire thing is directly connected to all the other massive crimes I'm enduring. Okay, so I want you to know this. So again, that technique is related to the sensitization method of gang stalking, repeating words and phrases and repeating identical words and phrases. That same technique has been caught being said on this property and by people that have been propped up on the road to go by and say it as they're riding their bikes and even standing around it. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. This is the third new HA area that I'm preparing to move from, and it should be moved from within a week. This crime made me homeless intentionally. So this is today's date, June 9, 2009. So that $50 that was paid for on this simple mobile car, on this phone right here, goes into effect as of 12 a.m. June 10th, which will be tonight, because today's June 9th. So as soon as it reaches 11:59 p.m. tonight, that $50 payment should then pay for another 30 days on this phone. So remember this. Now, if this has already kicked into a second video, because this phone only allows you to make 33-minute long videos at a time. If it's already kicked into the second video, understand and know that this will be the second video, because I'm already at the 36-minute mark. So if that's the case, look in the YouTube account that you're seeing this video through and look at the other video that was uploaded on the same day or a few days after. Okay, I wanted to make this video in order to showcase evidence. They're fucking staging events at all wooded areas I'm at, using homeless people. They just staged an asshole, okay, when I was on my way to Best Buy 2 days ago after I went to the post office to get some Amazon orders that I ordered. And that's on the same side of the street that the post office is, the post office and Phil's coffee shop. My post office is there, my P.O. box. So I went and got my Amazon orders, and then as soon as I came back out of the post office, some asshole that was wearing black and white pajama bottoms, okay, was standing practically right outside the door, and he said something to me. But I had my construction site headphones on, and I was listening to an audio file, so I totally ignored him and walked away. Okay, I just kept walking. Then when I got up to the intersection where that Bank America is at on the corner, and then you cross it, leaving the plaza where the post office and Phil's coffee shop is, so you can walk across the street, and then if you continue to go straight, you would then be in the plaza where Best Buy and Ralph's is at. He reappeared in front of me and started harassing me, and then followed me all the way into the parking lot and kept harassing me. So I called him a drug addict, and I told him to leave me the hell alone. Now, how many people are being propped up around me, or have been propped up around me, that are wearing black and white? Let me reword that, because this is actually what I meant to say. Go to Google and type in color coding and sensitization method and gang stalking. Okay? I'm going to have to say this really fast. I'm going to let you go. When I was utilizing a different wooded area that I finally left back in the day after Christmas 2020, when I was utilizing that wooded area, I make logs, verbal logs in my tape recorders about this crime, and my tape recorder is always in the record mode just in case they try and stage an event. Okay, now when I was at an area that I called the Octopus Tree location back in 2020, because it literally had a tree on it that literally looked like an octopus. Because since they made me homeless, I'm not going to openly state where I'm at when I'm at a wooded area for legal and strategic and security purposes. So when I was utilizing that wooded area, and as I was preparing to leave from it permanently, I had my tape recorder on, which is always on anyways, and I was literally making statements in it saying, keeping a verbal log of things that I endure, things that I notice concerning this crime, because this is a crime that literally forces you to notice it. Remember the MTS gang stalk? Oh my God! Let me showcase that again in this section of this video, just in case, because there's only been one occasion when I made videos through this phone when I went over the 33-minute mark. Did it save as one whole video? All the other times it cut itself into two separate videos, and since I'm now past that 33-minute mark from the first video, it's probably already started into the second video. There's only been one occasion where a video continued into an hour, where the video was a whole 1 hour long. All the other videos that I made, they segued into a second video on the SD card after 33 minutes was showcased, was used up. So just in case this is now a second video, because I'm now at the 39-minute mark, this was shown in the first video. This is a playlist. What you want to do is bring it up. That's its title. Type that in a YouTube search box. Bring it up. And then you're going to notice people being propped up around me to repeat gang stalk, oh my God. Suck dick, gang stalk. Suck dick, gang stalk, oh my God. And in that first video that I just made, which this is now video 2, it literally showed this video right here of it happening at UCSD. One of many videos of it occurring at UCSD. Where am I at right now? I'm right up the road from UCSD. Okay, it shows it happening everywhere on STSU campus, Ralph's, MTS bus routes. The second one is an RB. This one shows the San Diego prosecutors and public defenders repeating it. This shows me exposing it occurring by and through homeless men that they had propped up at wooded areas. Lately they've been depending on a lot of color coding in order to let you know that people are in your area purposely because of gang stalking. Okay, because they know you can't prove color coding on an audio tape recorder. So just research the sensitization method of gang stalking and color coding. So when I was at the Octopus Tree location back in 2020, I made several statements on different dates in my tape recorder while I was at the Octopus Tree location, openly showing me state that they're not propping up people to wear black and white clothes, even black and white bikes, literally black and white shoes. Okay, carrying articles of like purses and stuff that are black and white right in my field of view. But they also use blue and white, including shoes. I've even seen them use purple and white, literally. Patterns and checkers, like stripes and checkers, okay? So, as bizarre as all this sounds, sweethearts, just research my descriptions, okay? Like color coding and sensitization method and gang stalking. So when I was at the Octopus Tree location, I was literally making verbal statements on different dates in my tape recorders, which run by electronic time and date stamp. So on at least 7 occasions, I made statements that, because I would literally leave the Octopus Tree location, and upon exiting it, they would literally have a bicyclist go by right in front of me, 1 inch away from me, wearing black and white. And then once I exited it, a person would be coming down the street wearing it. Okay, literally. And then I started noticing it being massively propped up at Vaughn's and at bus stops and shit. Literally walking by me wearing black and white. Okay, nonstop. So I started verbally logging it in my tape recorder for the sake of logging it. Okay? And so then I left the Octopus Tree location. This happened about 9 months ago. I left the Octopus Tree location, and I rode my bike to the bus stop, caught the bus, went to Vaughn's. And when the bus was sitting at the last intersection before it made a left, and then once it makes its left, the bus stop I get off at in order to go to Vaughn's, which is then right across the street. So say at the tip of my finger, my bent little finger here, say at the tip of this bent finger is a light. A red, the light that you sit at until you wait for it to turn green. Okay? So imagine at the tip of my finger here, imagine that being a light you're sitting at. And then once that light turns green, the bus then moves about 5 feet, and then it makes an immediate left. And then right when it makes the left, 10 feet off of that corner is a bus stop. Then you get off at that bus and cross the street, and now you are in the parking lot of Vaughn's. right? So keep that in your mind. So I'm on the bus, and the bus approaches that intersection where the red light is at. But who's right in front of us? Right in front of the bus, in the lane. 5 bicyclists, at least 3 of them wearing black and white helmets and black and white attire. So I was already standing up at the yellow line right by the where the bus driver sits at, and I said, don't you find that a little bit... I go, look at all these bicyclists, they're wearing black and white. And he said, yeah, and he laughed, right? So then when the light turned green, and the bicyclist went, and then the bus followed and made the left and immediately stopped at the bus stop, and I got off the bus, got my bike off the bus, then crossed the street. And as soon as you cross the street, the only thing you got to do then is cross over a sidewalk. Once you cross over the sidewalk, you then go up this little grass thing, and Vons is right there, and then you're in the parking lot where the Vons is at, and then the Vons. So then I got off the bus, walked my bike across the street, crossed the sidewalk, went over that little slope of grass, and then I'm immediately in the plaza, parking plaza of the plaza that Vons is in. Rode my bike over to the front of Vons, and guess who was there? The bicyclists, who were wearing the black and white helmets. And guess what they were saying? Gangstalk. Caught on my fucking tape recorder. So and they were standing right by where I always lock up my bike. So you know what I said? I go, how come you guys are all wearing black and white helmets? And they all laughed. And I think maybe one of them might have said because we liked them or something, right? So think about it. If you walk up to a person who's wearing a bike helmet, no matter what color it is, anything outside of black and white, and you say, oh, you guys got black and white bike helmets, I seem to be seeing them quite often lately, and then they laugh, why would they laugh unless they were, if they weren't wearing them? Because think about it. If you walk up to somebody and say, hey, I like your black and white helmets, I seem to be seeing quite a bit of those a lot lately. If they weren't wearing black and white helmets, they would say, what are you talking about? Or, my helmet ain't black and white. They wouldn't laugh. Think about what I'm saying. Okay, and then I pressed the issue, and I believe one of them had, said because we like it or something like that. So, think about what I'm saying. I had already had audio files showing me that were made at the Octopus Tree location that openly show me state that they're intentionally propping up people to wear black and white helmets, black and white bikes, black and white shoes, black and white clothes. Now, I didn't create their techniques. I'm only explaining them. So you can go to Google and type in at Google gangstalking and color coding. They also use vehicles for that shit too, concerning what's online. So think about it. If I'm at a wooded area that's far away from Vons on several dates, and I'm saying that they're propping up people to wear black and white clothes and that they're wearing black and white helmets, and then I literally catch bicyclists who I say to them, hey, you guys are wearing black and white helmets, right after they say gangstalk, right as I'm approaching them, caught on tape. And then they got black and white helmets on, and I think at least one of them had black and white bicycle attire on. And I said, hey, I go, you guys are wearing black and white helmets. I seem to be seeing a lot of that lately. Okay, and I said that to them for 2 reasons. To get them to say additional words so their voice print could be caught, and to get them to admit it. Well, I think at least said, yeah, I think one said, yeah, I guess we like them or some shit like that. They laughed. They both laughed together. Okay, now if you're not wearing a black and white helmet, do you think you'd laugh? No. You'd say something like, what are you talking about? Or, I don't have a black and white helmet. So do you see what I'm saying? So think about what I'm saying. If I make statements at a location, okay, that's way far away from Vons, saying that people are going by me here at this area and along my routes, intentionally wearing black and white helmets and black and white attire, it being connected to gangstalking, and then you get to a place that you got massive evidence of being gang-stalked at, and when you get there, and then you make a notation about the bicyclists being right in front of the bus before they even get to Vons. And by the way, they had 2 other driveways that they could have went through to get to Vons a lot faster than turning around and going to the Vons in the direction that they finally went to Vons in. Because the bus had already been at the light. There's 2 driveways for Vons before you even get to that light. So why did they turn in front of us and then went to Vons from that direction? Because they wanted me to see them. Do you understand? Abso-fucking-lutely. Then when I get to Vons, they're right at the very spot that I always lock up my bike at every time I go there. 99% of the time I go there, they're standing right there, and they're saying gang stalk, and they're caught on my tip recorder doing it. Then when I approach them and say, hey, you guys are wearing black and white helmets, I seem to see that a lot lately, and then they laugh, okay, if they weren't wearing black and white helmets. If I walked up to you and said, if you were wearing a bike helmet other than black and white, and I said, hey, you got a black and white bike helmet, they would say, it's not black and white, or what are you talking about? Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think even one of them made a comment about it. So, the guy who was following me from the UPS, the USPS where my P.O. box was at 2 days ago, followed me from there to across the street into the parking lot where Best Buy's at, and was harassing me and going off on me. And he was wearing black and white pajama bottoms. Okay? So that's how gang stalking. Let me just bring up here real fast, and I gotta let you go because I got stuff to do. That's how gang stalking covertly, overtly lets you know that anybody in any place that's being used against you, if you hear an employee say gang stalk, and then 2 minutes later he's kicking you out of the store because supposedly a customer or another employee complains about you through a staged bullshit complaint, that's their way of letting you know it's because of gang stalking. And even the accuser can be wearing a color code that they know that you will identify to be connected to gang stalking. So let's go to Google. And I'm going to use the microphone, and watch what I'm going to say. Gang stalking and color coding. Okay, so it's just bringing up gang stalking. So let me just type in and color coding. Okay? So if you were to type in gang stalking and color coding, you wouldn't even have to type in how it's related to the sensitization technique. Okay? Okay, so I there you go. Gang stalking and color coding. So let's type that in. Let's see what comes at. Okay, so you got covert drugging being exposed to be connected to this. Okay, all right, and then mass murder. Research also torture and gang stalking. So if you research this, testimonies of coordinated stalking. Okay. Color coding as experienced by targeted individuals. TIs, targeted individuals, is another term to describe gang stalking victims. Color coding, okay? And that can be any color. Orange, red, okay? Black and white, I'm sure, is probably part of it. Okay, in fact, let me check this out. Let me see if I can do something, because I just recently noticed this. I went into YouTube about 4 months ago, and I brought up an old video that I hadn't looked at in over a year. So let me bring something up here. I'm going to show you something real fast. Okay, I wonder what happened to it. All right, now hold on a second. See if I can find it here real fast. Okay, now this is me at U of M in Dearborn, Michigan. And this is me going into... Now, this event occurred at nighttime, so you have a hard time seeing things. But as I'm walking from their library to U of M Campus Safety, you're going to see U of M signs in the video. This is me at the University of Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan, on January 20th, 2011, reporting to U of M Campus Safety that I'm in there again reporting being gang stalked. Okay? Now, right now, I'm looking for a video, hold on a second, that shows indisputable proof that I was being harassed on U of M property. Hold on a second. Here's the video right here. Now, this right here... Now, I gotta play around with this for a second. So, this right here is actually a video being made of a video that's on a video camera. So, you're gonna have to really pay attention to it here. Now, what happened here was, this happened the night I went into campus safety, the same night of the video I showed you a second ago. Now, you should also know that all of the information that is in the descriptions of the U of M videos and the videos dedicated to Michigan, that information I did not put in there. The perpetrators did. And the way they put information in there falls directly in sync with the same slander that they put in and through hacking my email accounts, over 60 of them in Michigan, Connecticut, Tennessee, and San Diego, putting the same type of slanders themes in. In fact, that's even related to a word they're still repeating out here in San Diego, where I use a code for that, which is called HC in reverse. Anyway, so when you see this video, this is me inside a U of M library on January 20th, 2011. And some little punk asshole comes and sits next to me. Now, you're going to be able to see that he's bothering me. But you should also notice that he's wearing black and white. Okay? Now, watch this.
I'm going to start the file over again so I can show.
Watch. Does it look like he's not doing anything suspicious? Look.
I'm going to do it one more time so I can still get used to this camera.
As soon as I put the camera on him, he turned around.
That he got my attention.
Okay, now he's wearing black and white.
The right picture.
Okay, so what happened was here is I was sitting using a U of M library computer. Okay, and this little jerk that you just saw, hold on a second. And so the little jerk that you just saw, he was propped up to come and sit next to me, and I'm staring into my computer, minding my own business, and they propped him up to come and sit next to me so he could keep touching my shoulder and stuff and harassing me. So I got out my video camera that was in my right pocket, which was the pocket that was furthest away from him, and turned it on, held it into the middle of my lap, and then when he did it again, I put it on him real fast, and then he noticed it, and so he got up and walked away. He was wearing black and white. Now, I didn't even pay attention to what he was wearing until when I noticed it about 6 months ago, when I brought it up so I could bring it up to get its URL link so I could paste it into an exposure on Twitter. And then that's when I noticed he was wearing black and white. Okay? Oh, absolutely. All right, so thank you for listening, everybody. Have a great day. I got to go. Please say a prayer for my safety. Today's date is June 9th, 2021. Let's see if either one of my phones become jammed. Let's see if Simple Mobile tries to claim that this phone bill wasn't paid for. Let's see if any event happens on this property, and that includes by them propping up anybody to hike out, camp out, or rest, or hang out within 2,000 feet of that rat mound I just showed you.